Hey everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video, I'm going to be doing some winter acrylic ombre nails using CJP. I'm working on my Glamerliz hand. I have already applied my base tips and some of the Glitter Planet pre-pinched stiletto tips, and I've already popped down a clear base as well, so we're going to come straight in with the design. So for the first colour, I'm going to be using CJP Apple Shine. This is one of my favourite CJP colours and I've had it absolutely ages. As you can see, it's in the old packaging, but it's a gorgeous mint green colour and I absolutely love it. So I'm placing that down roughly halfway down the nail, and then I'm just patting and pressing it out and walking it down towards the tip. Just using a nice light touch with my brush, and then I'm going to flip my brush around and blend the colour back. And then I'm going to come in with another layer of colour just to build that up a little bit more, because it is quite a thin layer and these are quite long nails. Now when I'm doing an ombre, I always leave my colour to set. So because I'm doing all ombre nails on this set, I'm going to do all of the colours first and then I will come in and ombre with my nude. Now to be honest, I wasn't actually planning on doing this set of nails as a video. I just wanted to practice doing some ombre nails. I kind of find that I love ombres and I feel I'm quite happy with my pink and white ombres or my nude and white ombres, but when it comes to coloured ombres it can be a little bit tricky because different colours will ombre easier than others, and you will find that like some colours will look nice with a pink nude or a pink core powder, sorry, and some will look nicer with a nude core colour. So I kind of just wanted to have a little play around and a little practice to try and perfect my coloured ombres. So rather than just picking 4 random colours to practice with, I decided I would go with more wintry colours. And then I kind of was just sitting in my nail room thinking, well, I might as well do a video and share it with you guys. I'm not 100% sure if it's something you enjoy watching because all the nails are the same and I'm pretty much using the same technique throughout. But anyway, I thought why not record it and upload it because you might enjoy watching. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I don't know if it's a little bit boring, for example, watching a video where it's pretty much exactly the same on all of the nails. But for me, I was wanting to practice because I find darker colours a little bit harder to ombre. So I did think maybe having it as a video, you could see how I work with some of the CJP colours in this particular video. I certainly worked out things that I would do a little bit differently next time I do them. On this now I have used Lagoon, which is a gorgeous teal colour, and this is one that I did try ombreing with when I first got it and I found it a little bit tricky because it is quite a dark colour. But here you can see I've applied it pretty much exactly the same as Apple Shine, made sure to blend out the back of the bead and made sure that my tip is full coverage. So on the third nail, we will be using Aqua Marine. Now, I absolutely love this colour. I used it as a full nail in my previous video, and it is a gorgeous colour, especially for winter. So I've picked up my bead, I've placed it down. I always like to push the back of the bead back slightly, and then I'm just walking it down towards the free edge. I don't like to add too much bulk with my colours because we're going to come in and encapsulate anyway. So I want to make sure my colours are quite thin so we don't end up with a too bulky tip. And you can see as well, it's blended out quite a bit in the back third anyway. But I'm just coming in with a little bit more colour at the tip because the tip did look a little, not opaque, transparent. So I've just applied that down at the tip and then I'm just touching it up from side to side, making sure to have a nice neat application. The fourth and final colour that we're going to be using on the little finger is Smurf, and I do absolutely love this colour. It's a beautiful blue, but if you just look on my pot, can you see that some of the particles are quite grainy? Now, I'm not sure if this is just my particular pot of Smurf, but I've had this colour since it first come out, which I believe was not last summer, the summer before, and I only used it once and then I picked it up again recently and I noticed it was like that. And I can't remember if it was like that when I first used it or not. Like I said, I bought it, I used it maybe once or twice, and then it wasn't really a colour that suited the season, I felt. So I didn't really reach for it anymore. And then when I picked it up this winter, it's just a bit, the powder's a bit grainy, and I'm not sure if maybe I haven't done up the lid properly and it's got damp or something like that, but it's like the pigment particles are a little bit thicker and not been ground in. That's how it seems anyway, but I think maybe if anything I've just got a bad batch of the colour. But it does mean I have to apply it slightly differently, because otherwise you can notice those thicker pieces in the acrylic. So with this one I just paint on the layers and build up the colour until I'm happy with it. But anyway, these are how all of the nails look. Now my one mistake is I didn't blend out Smurf enough in the back third, so I would definitely blend that out a little bit more because it is the darkest colour of them all. Anyway, moving on to the next stage in the ombres, the core powder that I'm going to be using is CJP Obsession. This has quickly become my favourite core powder. I think I said it in the previous few videos. I'm just reaching for it a lot because I absolutely love it. Because it's new to me, I've not done too many ombres with it, so that's why I wanted to try it out in this particular set. Now when I'm doing an ombre, I make sure I leave all of my colours to set, so by now we're coming back to Apple Shine and that colour has fully set. So I'm placing down my bead of Obsession, and Apple Shine is quite an easy colour to blend to do an ombre with. I've used it quite a few times in an ombre because it's quite light. It's very similar to when you're doing a pink and white ombre. So I didn't find this one too tricky. I placed my first bead down, blended it over, and then I'm coming in with my cuticle and apex bead. I'm just tucking that up into the cuticle area and then blending it down over the previous bead. And it didn't go too bad. Again, this was my first time doing a lot of ombres with Obsession, so I would have maybe worked a little bit different because I still wasn't 100% happy with this fade. Another thing I will say is when I'm doing an ombre, I like to build up some of my apex and cuticle area with the core colour that I'm using. So when it comes to encapsulating, I only really encapsulate from the fade down, and I kind of just do a thin encapsulation layer just so it protects the fade from filing. So because I wasn't 100% happy with that ombre, I just come in with another small bead of Obsession and blended that over. Just cleaning it off a little bit on the Apple Shine so that it still pops. And then we're going to move on to the next one, which is Lagoon. So because this is a little bit darker and I did feel that it might be a little bit more tricky, I put a small bead of Obsession down first of all and just washed it over, so it helped blend out the Lagoon in that back third. Then I'm coming in with a larger bead, blending out the back of it and pulling my sides down before pulling the top of that bead down to start creating the fade. And I'm just using really light strokes with my brush so that I'm not pulling too much of that core colour down, because we don't want to fully wash out the colour. We do want to still see that pop of colour, especially at the tip. Then I'm coming in with my cuticle bead, again tapping it up into place at the cuticle. I'm pointing the finger down as I do this so it doesn't run back, and then I'm just pulling that down over the previous bead of colour, leaving a lot of it in that back third to help build up that apex. And then here, another thing that I would have done differently is I probably would have come in with another small bead of Lagoon right at the tip of the nail, just to help make that pop a little bit more, because I do feel as though it looks a little transparent, like the colour doesn't look full on. And I'm going to pretty much do exactly the same on the Aqua Marine and the Smurf as I did on Lagoon, because they're that little bit darker of a colour or brighter. I'm going to come in with that small bead of acrylic first of all, just to help soften the blend area. Now, I am by no means perfect at ombres. I'm only sort of just at that point where, like I said, I'm happy with my pink and whites. When it comes to coloured ones, this is why I wanted to sit down and have a practice. So if you pick up any tips or tricks from this video, then that's absolutely great. But if you have any tips or tricks for me, then definitely let me know them in the comments below, because I love ombre nails. I think they're absolutely beautiful. They're probably my favorite thing when it comes to nails. They're especially one of the things that I love wearing on my own nails. Like whenever I do my own nails, they usually include some kind of ombre or fade of some kind, because I think they look absolutely beautiful. And that's why I kind of want to get mine a little bit more better, so that I'm happy with them a little bit more. And it is always progression, so it's nice to sit down and have a little practice. Anyway, a lot of the remaining steps are the same, so I thought I'd just have a little chit chat with you guys and ask how you are all doing. How are you all coping with this third lockdown in the UK? I'm finding this one really boring, if I'm honest. I think it's because the weather is really cold and crappy, so I don't even feel like going out for a walk or to get some exercise because it's just really cold and miserable and rainy. I didn't find the first lockdown too bad because it was nice weather. The second one didn't feel like too much of a lockdown because it was the lead up to Christmas and I was all really busy with Christmas stuff. This one I feel like is really mentally draining me. Like it's a Sunday today, but the days just feel all rolled into one, and Monday to Sunday feels exactly the same. You know, there's no school or nursery for my two children, so Monday to Sunday they're just at home, and I know they're going a little bit stir crazy, and then I'm working from home and you're just at home. So it all just feels a little bit boring. I think that's why I'm trying my best to be productive and get in my nail room a little bit more, not just to make videos but to sit down and practice a little bit as well. So yeah, what are you guys all up to and how are you all coping with it? I hope you're all doing okay, and most importantly, in this whole situation, I hope you're all just keeping safe and well. That's kind of what I'm holding on to. Like, although the lockdown side of it is really crap, I am really appreciative that all of my family at the moment are all healthy and doing okay, just a little bit bored. So I'm just finishing up this last ombre. This was the one that I think I was least happiest with, and I do feel as though it's because I didn't blend out that Smurf enough. But you can see here as well, I just want to mention, I've taken that obsession down a little bit further than I wanted to. So I just used my wet brush to clean that up a little bit, but you could also come in with some more of the colour you've got at the tip as well if you felt it needed it. Now those ombres are finished, I'm going to come in and encapsulate. So I'm placing my bead of clear acrylic down at that fade area. As I said, when I was applying my core powder, I build up a lot of my apex with the core colour. So when it comes to encapsulating, I don't need to build up my apex. I'm just applying a thin clear layer to protect that blend from filing. So I placed that bead of acrylic down, I blended out the back of it, and then I've walked it down towards the free edge. And because these nails were quite long and I felt as though the tip was a little bit thin, I did just come in with another small bead right at that tip area, blended it back, and just to make sure that there was enough product there. And then I'm going to do the same again on the next nail. So I'm picking my bead up, placing it down. I wipe over the tip of the nail with my wet brush just to help the acrylic flow down. Then I'm blending that bead of acrylic back and just walking it down towards the free edge, trying to keep my side walls as neat as possible. So I'm trying to make sure that my acrylic doesn't run over my side walls, because otherwise I'm just going to give myself more filing. And then I'm coming in with another bead of acrylic at that tip area, blending it back and walking it right down to the very tip of the nail. The remaining two nails I did encapsulate off camera because I didn't want to bore you all with repetitiveness, but I did also do all of the filing off camera as well, because as I've said, at the moment I just find it too tricky to record filing on the Glamerliz and record at the same time. It is something I'm working on, but once I had finished filing and buffing, I made sure to give the nails a good scrub to remove all of the dust. The nails are now ready to top coat, so I'm coming in with my CJP tack free top gloss, and as you can see I'm just applying a thin layer of this to finish off the nails. So I placed my brush down at the cuticle area, let it fan out, and just pull that gel down towards the tip of the nail, being really careful that you don't get any on the cuticle or skin area. But the great thing about gel is if you do get any on the cuticles or skin, you can just clean it up with a little bit of alcohol before curing. And that, guys, is pretty much the end of the video. Now, they weren't my best ombres. When it comes to top coating, I was a little bit disappointed because I felt as though they looked a little bit better before top coating. But they were fun to do and it was good to sit down and just have a practice. Like I said, if you have any tips or tricks when it comes to ombreing, pop them in the comments below and share your words of wisdom with us all. If you did enjoy watching the video, then please give it a thumbs up or leave me a comment in the comments below. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love it if you hit that subscribe button. At the time of editing this video, I'm so close to 3,000 subscribers, so thank you all so much for that. It means the world to me. I love my little YouTube channel, so yeah, thanks for being part of it. This was the finished result. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, lots of love. Bye bye.